So we continue from where we left off with a new student. Hello, Sonia.
Hello.
And I wanted to take this opportunity just to remind the learners at home how to use these audios to make sure that you are not just listening and following and understanding what's going on, but always taking the time and pausing if necessary to think through the sentence and say the answer out loud before we hear the response of the student here. That's really important for us to take French away from this experience. The pauses are always around a second and a half. That's because the track's been edited. Maybe the student here answers after 1 second, maybe after a minute. But that's always going to be edited, so feel free to pause and take whatever time you need to have the thoughts that you need to have to confidently and correctly build the sentence. This course has been very carefully thought out to guide certain thoughts, and these thoughts are the most important thing about what we're doing. So you shouldn't be worrying about memorizing or how much of this will I remember or writing things down. You should only care about following the explanations, having the thoughts that you have when you follow those explanations, and then building the sentence in your own time. What was I want in French?
Je vais.
Good, but the V here, it's sounding like a B, and this is of course because you're a Spanish speaker. So you will have to make a special effort to make sure that you get the V sound here, rather than a harder B.
Je vais.
Much better. Very good. Je veux. And I can.
Je peux.
Je peux. Good. And we said that both of these are spelled E-U-X, no? V-E-U-X or P-E-U-X. And that X is silent, no? Je veux, je peux. What was the word for late? Like a tardy.
Tard.
Good, but what happened to that last D?
This letter doesn't sound.
Yes, it's silent, right? Just like the X on the end of je veux, je peux. So give that another go.
Tard.
That's it. Very good. Tard. Good.
Tard.
So, as we were seeing, we have to pay attention now to the fact that mostly we won't pronounce consonants written on the end of words in French. I must or I have to is je dois. Je dois.
Je dois.
Related to the word dette in English. That's where that D comes from. Je dois. And this is spelled D-O-I-S. Dois. So we end in an S, but we don't hear it. Je dois. The word for thing was chose. How was something?
Quelque. Quelque chose.
Very good. Quelque chose. Something. How would we say reparation? Reparation in French.
Réparation.
Very good. Réparation. So the R in French we will hear sounding differently in different accents or dialects of French. It can sound more like a R sound, or it can sound more like a R sound, like a gargling sound, which might be hard for an English speaker, for example, to incorporate, not to associate a R with an R, which a R sounds maybe like a G or a GH or something like that, no? But you can pronounce it like an R. It is pronounced like an R in various dialects of French. Réparation. Réparation.
Réparation.
Very good. I have to repair something. I must. I have to repair something.
Je dois réparer quelque chose.
Very good. Je dois réparer quelque chose. What was the word for late again?
Tard.
Tard. Good. And later or more late, how was that?
Plus late.
Plus late. No. So later.
Plus late.
Good. So in French?
Plus tard.
Almost. We don't have the S though.
Plus tard.
Plus tard. Good.
Plus tard.
Plus tard. So again, we don't pronounce that final consonant now. We have plus written, like plus in English, but we pronounce plus. Plus tard. I have to repair something later. I must repair something later.
Je dois réparer quelque chose. Plus tard.
Je dois réparer quelque chose plus tard. So I mentioned how dois is related to the word dette in English. And in fact, je dois, other than I must, I have to, also means I owe. So actually, when you say I have to, I must, je dois, you are saying I owe. I owe to whatever. You must or you owe is tu dois. Tu dois.
Tu dois.
Good. So this U sound is like in plus tard. And we point our lips out for this. U, tu,
Tu.
tu. The word for 30 is trente, trente.
30.
Yes, so you could say, for example, you owe 30 euros. You owe 30 euros. So give me the first bit first. You owe 30.
Tu dois. No. Tu dois 30.
Good. And now euros. Now, knowing what we know about French so far, how might you pronounce euros? Thinking of how that's written, how might that sound in French?
Euro.
Very good. You didn't pronounce the last S, you left that off. And also here we have EU, like in the, like in peu. So we can also look back there, go, okay, I know what an EU does in French, and we can import that sound over.
Euro.
Euro, very good. So we have the EU like E, we have the R, which can sound like an R or it can sound more like R. Also, if you know it, like the Rama in Greek, a little bit like this, Euro, because we don't pronounce the last S either. Very good. So give me that. You owe 30 euros.
Tu dois 30 euros.
Tu dois 30 euros. Very good. So dois, although literally meaning owe, we will use much more like have to, must. What was the door in French? Like portal,
La porte.
la porte. Very good. You must repair the door. You have to repair the door.
Tu dois réparer la porte.
Very good. Tu dois réparer la porte. Very good. So with door, porte, no, we end with a consonant sound, no? We end with a t, with a t sound. But we said we don't usually pronounce consonants on the end of words. But this t is not on the end of porte. Porte is spelled P-O-R-T-E. The same with trente, 30, which is spelled T-R-E-N-T-E. So the final E means the consonant isn't on the end of the word anymore. And so we know that we should pronounce it. Porte. So we said, tu dois réparer la porte. And we might want to get in the habit of noticing in French when we have a part of a word that's a building block, like the ré here. Réparer. R-E is a building block, like in commander, to recommander. When you notice these common building blocks and experiment with moving and switching them, you will more easily be able to jump between words, different words in French. Going from, for example, repair, réparer, to compare, which might be what in French? To compare.
Comparer.
Comparer. Good. So we found comparer without even having an Asian word, no? We don't have comparison in English, it's comparison, but we found comparer by identifying ré as something that we stuck onto parer to get réparer. And that allows us to move between words like comparer, réparer, préparer. You must compare. How would you say that? You must compare.
Tu dois comparer.
Tu dois comparer. The car in French is la voiture.
La voiture.
Voiture. So this is spelled V-O-I. The O-I there gives us wa, like in dois, which is spelled D-O-I-S. So the O-I again, they're giving us wa, voix, T-U, like the word for you, ture, R-E. And we end in that R sound. La, it's feminine, the car, la voiture.
La voiture.
The car. I have to repair the car. I have to repair the car.
Je dois réparer la voiture.
Very good. Je dois réparer la voiture. Can you prepare the car? Can you prepare the car?
Peux-tu réparer la voiture?
Prepare the car.
Préparer la voiture.
Very good. Peux-tu, or just tu peux, préparer la voiture? Can you repair the car a little later? Can you repair the car a little later? Let's think about one bit at a time. Can you?
Peux-tu réparer la voiture un peu plus tard?
Very good. Tu peux, or peux-tu réparer la voiture un peu plus tard? Very good. What was to reserve? If you don't just remember what to reserve was, of course you can look back to reservation.
Réserver.
Réserver. Very good. You must reserve the car.
Tu dois réserver la voiture.
Very good. Tu dois réserver la voiture. Machine is the same word in French, machine, and it's written the same as in English, M-A-C-H-I-N-E. How might it be pronounced in French, machine?
Machine.
Machine? The same, more or less, no? So we end in N-E. So we pronounce that last consonant. We pronounce that N on the end because it's N-E. The N isn't actually on the end. Machine. And like in shores, the word for thing, we have CH giving us sh. And it's a feminine word, so how would you say the machine?
La machine.
Very good, la machine. You must reserve the machine. You must reserve the machine.
Tu dois réserver la machine.
Very good. Tu dois réserver la machine. And like in some other Latin languages, like Italian, for example, and also some dialects of Spanish, I don't know if you've heard this, la máquina for the car, but la machine, you may still hear it used in some dialects of French to also mean the car, la machine.